What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2024 Volkswagen Taos SEL. So this is the top of the line Taos. It's got every bell and whistle that you can even equip on this model, and we're going to be taking a look at all of it in this video. Did want to start out by saying this is the cornflower blue color. Absolutely pops off the screen. Hopefully it has as much of an impact over the camera lens as it does in person. This thing is vibrant, it's bright, it's cool, it's a really nice looking SUV. And it's got the two-tone gray and black interior, which we'll take a look at in just a bit. Now this nameplate has only been around for about 3 years, so you don't have a ton of new features. Some of the trims get little, spec bumps here and there, a couple additional features, and there is one new trim, and that is the SE Black trim, which I think looks really nice. I'll show you some pictures on screen, but that's a little bit lower trim than this, but it does give you some nice blacked out elements. If you're more into that, definitely check out that trim. And of course, as with all the other days where I decide to film videos, every single Friday, it is the windiest day of the week. So hopefully my mic doesn't cut out too much and you guys are able to hear me perfectly well for this review. Let's get into it. So starting up front with this headlight cluster, this is Volkswagen's IQ light system. So it's a full LED suite, LED high beams, LED daytime running lights. You've got an LED light bar right here that runs across the front of the grille. It has adaptive front lighting. It's dynamic. It's just a really, really effective system, and it looks great too. Now this front grille is super, super sporty as well. You have these accents. This is pretty much like what every Volkswagen has, are these kind of like little hooks here. A lot of SUVs are doing this, but Volkswagen does it really effectively. You also have this body colored part that kind of arcs around the hooks here. I think it looks nice. A little bit of a plastic grille at the bottom with a little bit of satin chrome there. And then you have a shiny chrome up top here that makes this very kind of simplistic Volkswagen style grille that we're used to seeing, but it all marries really well together. Now, under the hood of every single Taos, you're gonna have the same 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 158 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque, 32 miles per gallon highway, 24 miles per gallon city, and it's gonna be paired with one of two transmission options. If you have a front-wheel drive model, it's gonna have an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you have the all-wheel drive model, like this one here, it's going to have a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. So one of those two options depending on which drive system you have, but same engine across the board. Now, if we move on back, this SEL is sitting on these 19-inch black alloy wheels. They look really nice, pretty minimal, not a whole lot of intricacies or contrast points. It looks fine. No complaints there. It's not flashy, but again, it's a Volkswagen. It looks really nice. You've got Taos badging right here. Body colored side mirrors here. They don't have integrated turn signals on them, but they are heated. They do have blind spot monitoring, but they are manual folding mirrors, and then no camera system up underneath. This doesn't have any kind of 360-degree overhead view system at all, just normal rear view camera here. Keyless access here on the door panels, a little button. You got silver roof rails up top, and then you have a panoramic sunroof that is tilting and sliding, which looks really nice. We'll take a look at that more inside. All right, so moving to the back of the Taos here, you'll notice a couple things. You've got a little bit of a spoiler here to keep rain and snow and other things off your back windshield, but you do have a rear wiper if you need it, and some nice big tinted glass here. Volkswagen badge, body colored split, and pretty much the entire bottom half is all body colored until you get right here, and then you've just got plastic cladding in black and then a little bit in satin. Now you do have faux exhaust tips. The real exhaust is up underneath, a little bit of a diffuser at the bottom, and some textured elements here with some parking sensors. Pretty limited badging back here, and I like that. You do have your big Volkswagen badge here, nice Taos word mark here, and then your SEL and 4Motion badging there. LED taillights here, not a lot of intricacy to them, but they do look really nice. Standard rear camera up underneath, and no power liftgate here on this model. But now under the tailgate here, we get to one of the main selling features of the Taos. This is a pretty compact SUV, but you have a ton of cargo carrying capability and a ton of back seat room. We'll get to that in a second. But this rear liftgate area, 28 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats up. You fold those down, 66 cubic feet of cargo space here in this size SUV. And I've got all dimensions on screen for you, not only of the cargo space, but also of the entire length of this vehicle. It is pretty small overall. But back here, you've got some monster mats that we optioned on. You've got your cargo protection system there. You got a 12-volt outlet back here, some lights, some hooks. It's like room for a cargo shade as well. Up underneath here, you do have a spare tire and your sound system here with all your jacks and everything you might need. Just this cargo area is massive. And you do have a pass-through here for larger objects if you need to, and 60-40 split rear seats. Let's go ahead and close her up and hop inside the cabin. All right, so hopping inside the cabin here, you have a lot of nice modern touches, some kind of classic Volkswagen touches, and then some things that I really like and some things I think they need to improve, and we're gonna cover all of that. But let's start over here on the door panels. You've got a soft touch rubber up top, then you have this leather material on the sides of the door panels in gray. Again, I mentioned this is the two-tone black and gray interior, so you've got more of that gray over here with your accent stitching in white. A little bit of black leather with white accent stitching, and then the armrest area is just a plastic material. You have a little bit of a gray plastic glossy bit right here near the door handle, and that works its way across the entirety of the dash, over above the glove box as well, and then right underneath that, you get more of that gray leather with the accent stitching, and then everything under that from about the vents down is a hard touch plastic. That's just what you're going to come to expect in these Volkswagen models, especially on the lower end of the price range. And then up top, you also just have hard black plastic, except on the door panels, like I said, where you have that soft touch rubber. The interior materials leave a little bit to be desired, but again, you're really not talking about a very expensive vehicle for most. It's right around that $35,000 mark for the top trim level. Like, you can get ones that are less expensive than that, you know, high 20s to 30s. So this is a very competitively priced vehicle. It's just, you're going to take a little bit of a hit when it comes to cabin materials. But you do have a leather wrapped steering wheel that is heated. You have some accent stitching on there, textured horn bit over on the controls for your driver information center, and then your media controls. Those are both regular buttons. They're not touch capacitive buttons yet. I'm sure it's coming. You have a little bit of a satin accent here on the wheel as well. Lights behind, wipers on the right side, and then past that, you do have your driver information cluster. This is Volkswagen's digital cockpit, and it is split into two different types. I've talked about this before. There's a regular Volkswagen digital cockpit, and then you have the Volkswagen Digital Cockpit Pro, and that is the more premium one that you'll see on like higher end Tiguan's and basically anything that has the Volkswagen digital display, which is just about all of them now, I think. You're gonna get the Pro here on the SEL. So this has the more professional, you know, less chintzy, in my opinion, looking graphics package, and that is a 10.2-inch information cluster right there. And it's nice. I'm excited for them to bring the fully updated, like the newest ID4 Atlas Cross Sport, the new Tiguan, that graphics package to the Taos, because I think that'll make it super, super worth the money. Right now, it feels a little bit dated to me still, even though it's only been out for 3 years with this kind of outdated graphics package. Doesn't look bad by any means. It still really works well. You still have everything you could possibly want. It just isn't the like futuristic-y style that I really like, and that some of you guys probably like as well. And then over here for the infotainment system, you're gonna have two different infotainment options. A 6.5-inch infotainment screen is gonna be your standard. This one has the 8-inch infotainment screen. Because this is the higher trim level, it's gonna have it. And then you can also option it onto some lower trim levels if you prefer it. This is gonna have your radio, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation on this model. You also have your assist systems, you have on-screen climate control, and then of course you have your backup camera as well, which has your little parking sensors, and it has the adaptive lines so you can turn the wheel and see which way you're angled. No overhead view cam system at all. But if we move on down here, you do have two vents here. And then you have your Climatronic dual zone climate control system, so individually adjustable driver and passenger. And you have second row vents. No climate control specifically for the second row, but having vents back there is great. If we move on down from that, you have two USB-C ports, a 12-volt outlet, a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad, push to start engine, electronic parking brake, auto start stop engine, and then you have your 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission on this shift knob right here. It is a leatherette wrapped shift knob with accent stitching, and then you have your drive mode selector past that. Two cup holders, a little pocket, and then a nice deep center console, but it is pretty small. Standard glove box over to the right here, and a pretty boring standard rear view mirror up here. It is an auto dimming rear view mirror, so that's nice, but no compass, no garage door controls built into it or anything like that. You have your LED dome lights here, sunroof controls, you can slide it back, and you've got your OnStar controls here. As far as the seating surfaces go, these are a Vienna leather seating surface, two-tone, like I said, accent stitching with your gray, some white piping, black down the center, and these are heated and ventilated seats. The driver is a power adjustable seat. The passenger seat is a manually adjustable seat. And then again, this beautiful panoramic sunroof up top that you can tilt. All the way back, you can slide it back for extra visibility and just letting in some nice fresh air. It looks really great and it makes the cabin feel huge. You also have a Beats Audio premium sound system with a subwoofer, and it's back in the trunk. We took a look at that earlier. Now here in the back seat is where the magic happens. And no, I'm not talking about that kind of magic. I'm talking about the rear legroom back here. 37.9 inches of rear legroom. That is only 0.8 inches less than the Tiguan. This thing is insane. I've got this seat really far back, like exaggeratedly far back. I mean, that's probably like 3.5, 4 inches of legroom right there. And this thing could be moved way up to be a more comfortable seating position. I'm 6'1", and this is how much legroom I have. Great headroom as well, but really the legroom just cannot be overstated. This is class-leading legroom. It's insane. You do have rear vents, like I said, one USB-C port back here. You've got similar door materials, although it's a hard plastic instead of a soft touch. And then instead of gray leather, you have gray plastic. So it mirrors nicely, but it's just a downgrade in the materials. The seating surfaces are super comfortable still. They don't feel as premium as the front seats, but you do have a similar style with the gray and black with the accent stitching as well. Again, this folds down here. It gives you 2 cup holders. Then you can fold this center pass-through down to fit longer objects, as I mentioned. You've got LED lights here, hooks here. You've got map pockets in both seats, which is always nice to have. You're not going to put maps in it, but it's nice to have them nonetheless. Super comfortable back seats. Again, this legroom literally can't be beat in the segment. It just makes the back seat feel super spacious, super comfortable, especially with all that light coming in from the panoramic sunroof. All right, let's take the Taos here for a test drive. Now, I've driven it a little bit. It's pretty quick, I can't lie. It's not a sports car by any means, but it does walk that fine line that I think Volkswagen was trying to achieve between the Tiguan and the Golf wagon. It's got a little bit of oomph, still enough convenience features for it to be an effective first car, small family SUV. And this thing is packed with tech. You've got your Volkswagen digital cockpit, you've got your 8-inch infotainment system over here, got everything you could want. Customizable interior ambient lighting, tons of Volkswagen's IQ Drive features, IQ Light features, everything. Speaking of that, let's try out my fave, Travel Assist here. Travel Assist is selected. Let's go ahead and set so you can see how far away vehicles are in front of you. This system will just help keep me in the center of the lane here, help keep me my preset speed, help keep me away from other vehicles. It's great. And it does a really nice job, as you can tell, very gently turning the wheel to keep me in the center of the lane. You don't really have to steer, but you do have to kind of occasionally put your hands on the wheel. But I mean, it does a really, really good job of keeping you in the center of the lane. It's one of my favorite systems. And there's a big turn coming up here. I'm going to drop the speed a little bit and see if it can take me around this turn up here. Right here. Let's see if it does it. Oh, so close. Going pretty slow too. It can definitely take you around pretty sharp curves. That was a real sharp one. Travel Assist is mainly highway driving assist, so you're not gonna have like big curves like that, but it is cool that it can almost guide you around that. As far as visibility goes, super open front area. Huge front windshield, no pocket windows, plenty of visibility. You can see your rear view mirrors nice and easy. You can see out the back, you got a nice big back windshield, no problems there. And again, let's get a little acceleration test here. So it takes just a sec to get going, but once it does, like, it feels like it's got power. Clearly it does. I mean, it's got 158 horsepower, something around there. It's a small SUV. It's not absolutely packed, and even something that's small, like the Crosstrek, has the additional engine option, the 2.5 liter with 182 horsepower. Bigger engine, more horsepower, more torque. All those things are gonna factor in. My point is, you can get something similar in size that has a little bit more horsepower. This unfortunately tops out at that 158 horsepower, but it doesn't feel slow by any means. It feels like it's got enough giddy up to pass effectively on the highway. It can speed you up effectively if need be. It feels appropriately powered, although specs-wise, you may think it would feel a little bit underpowered. It doesn't really, maybe a hair underpowered. I would love to see, you know, somewhere in the 180 range, it would feel super sporty and aggressive if that were the case, but the 158 isn't bad. Dual zone climate control here, 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, plenty of tech, like I said, lots of nice safety features. Volkswagen has an entire IQ Drive safety assist system. I'll have some of those on screen here. Beautiful giant panoramic sunroof, and again, super quiet ride. Very acoustically sound, pretty responsive steering wise, feels good. Brake pressure is good, handles well, it's quick, it's responsive, quick enough, I guess I should say. And I mean, these seating surfaces are awesome. Super comfortable seating surfaces, very nice to have them heated and ventilated. So no matter the season, you're gonna be comfortable in these things. And I really like the feeling of them. They feel durable enough, but supple enough to be comfortable. And I mean, you absolutely cannot, literally cannot beat the space in this vehicle. So if you want a compact SUV for that 30 to 35-ish price point, packed with tech, packed with safety features, packed with class-leading space and storage capacity, the Taos absolutely can't be beat. So definitely check it out. I mean, this cornflower blue color, it's not really my speed. I'm more of a red guy, but I think it looks absolutely sick, and you can get a whole plethora of different colors. So definitely check this thing out, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about the 2024 Volkswagen Taos SEL here? Are you gonna pick one up? What do you think of the cornflower color? What do you think of the tech on the inside? Let's talk about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.